Hello, everyone. Hope you're all having a fantastic Thursday here. And we are back with actually the second episode this week for our Remax Facebook Live interview, The Voices in Real Estate. The live interview itself will take place weekly for viewers in the real estate industry to learn and become better real estate agents. Within Remax, we believe in strength in numbers, where people are open to share their experiences and knowledge with others so Remax agents and the rest of the industry can better help serve our clients overall. So today, the topic is building your relationships with your local business, which is very important these days because, well, during normal times, local business support what we do. So it's very important for us to, in return, support the local businesses. And with today's guest is Kyle Kerr, Remax Camosun in Victoria. He is one of the best people who is very engaged with their local business. So let's get Kyle on the screen here. Hey, Kyle, how's it going?
Good, Kingsley. How are you?
I'm good. Well, doing as good as we all can possibly be, right, these days.
Exactly.
And so what have you been doing?
Yeah, well, it's been interesting, right? We're a few weeks into this now, and I felt in the last week or so, it seems like a lot of the bigger changes around real estate have kind of started to slow down, and I think we're settling into a bit of a new normal right now, at least when it comes to policy changes and how we need to handle potential showings or viewings and discussions with clients. So the biggest thing for us, and the topic of this conversation, of course, is trying to help out our local businesses. Us here in Victoria, we do a lot of work within the local community, and a lot of that is supported by those local businesses. A lot of them are my friends, a lot of them are our clients as well. And so when this all first started hitting and we saw restaurants closing and tourism companies, especially here in Victoria, shutting down, we just thought, how do we support these people? And so we just started by reaching out to them, contacting the ones that are really close to us and seeing, what we could do to support.
How long have you been in Victoria, actually? I've never asked you that question.
No. So I've been here 15 years now. I moved here just after kind of high school, university, or college in the Okanagan. So I grew up in Vernon and moved here 15 years ago. And then I've been licensed for 10 years now.
Oh, wow. Time goes by fast, doesn't it?
I know, exactly. It's the 10-year anniversary really hits home when you realize how quick it's gone.
You still look young. Don't worry about that.
Oh, yes. Some days.
So you might perhaps give a little bit more background of yourself to the viewers here. So because not everyone knows who you are, even though I know a lot of people do. Yeah. But just kind of tell people who you are, what you do, and so forth.
Yeah, so like I said, I grew up in the Okanagan and moved out to Victoria 15 years ago to do some school at Camosun College, and I worked in sales and marketing for construction supply companies. So I was dealing a lot with developers and builders, everything from plumbing and heating supplies to commercial construction supplies as well. And so I was always kind of dealing with housing, and then I was 25 years old and was kind of burnt out from what I was doing. I didn't like being a salaried employee. I knew I could make more money and do something I was a bit more passionate about. And so I jumped into real estate. I kind of just quit my job and decided to get into real estate. And so I've been doing it for 10 years now. I've been with Remax for just over 4. Been really excited since coming over to Remax. Meeting people like yourselves and all the support from corporate has been awesome. I've been doing it for 10 years. I've also served on the board of directors for Victoria Real Estate Board. I did that for 7 years. Tony Joe actually nominated me when I was I was only in the business for 2 years, and Tony ended up nominating me for the board of directors, and I got voted in, and that was an amazing experience. And I was able to serve as president of the board here in 2018, which was an amazing experience. And it's funny because I look back at 2018 and, in BC, that was the year that, dual agency was taken away. The government came in with a lot of taxes, and I thought that was a pretty crazy and hectic year. And, our president here in Victoria now is doing an amazing job, but I've talked to her, and, this is such a unique situation we're working through right now. I work as part of the Prime Real Estate team. So I work with Tony Joe and Angie Hill and Susan Joe as well. So we're, top producing team here in Victoria, but a lot of our focus is giving back in the local community as well. So I do lots in the sports community. which is a passion of mine. I know you and I talk about basketball all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And my friends and I have also created a nonprofit called the Good Game Charity Society. So we do some charity events here throughout the year as well. So I like to stay busy, and yeah, just excited to
I
chat
can
with you
see
a little
that.
more. Yeah,
In 10 years, you stay busy quite a bit. So, but
yeah,
you're really a good story for people that are younger coming into real estate, right? You mentioned that you came in when you were 25, and we run sales associate orientation, 7 to 8
yeah,
times a year, and there's a lot of young real estate agents that are coming in and eager to
yeah,
do stuff. And you're a really good example of not just in terms of production, I mean, which is what we all tend to look at, but also contributing back into the community itself, the businesses, and also the real estate boards and all that things that you do, right? So
yeah. No,
great accomplishments there.
yeah, thank you. And I think that's the biggest thing is I think all levels are looking for younger people to get more involved, right? That's why I think Remax Western created the Young Leaders Network, and even within the real estate organizations, the real estate boards, they need younger people around those board tables. I think we're in the middle of an amazing opportunity for young realtors to be more and more involved and really set the trends for the next 10, 20, 30 years for organized real estate. So I would just say get involved early and make sure your voice is heard.
Right. And before we started, we briefly talked about Tony Joe, who's the team
Yeah.
leader on your team. It's his big 5-1 birthday.
Happy
So
birthday, Tony
we
Joe. Yeah.
exactly, we'll do it live. Happy birthday, Tony!
Yeah.
And I also said that some couple years ago, Tony said his age and mine was really close, but my response to him was look at the hair. So I think we could all tell him that. But
Yeah.
happy birthday, Tony!
Happy birthday, Tony. Exactly.
Awesome. So let's jump into it. So I mean, we kind of talked about how you're keeping yourself. You like to keep yourself busy and all that stuff. But these times are a little bit different. Obviously, you can't just
Of
be going
course.
out there shaking people's hands, giving people hugs, which I know you do a lot of times
Yeah.
during normal circumstances. And this episode, we want to focus more on the local businesses and how you can help and still promote them. And perhaps share a little bit of how you used to do it and how you do it differently now.
For sure, yeah, and I think it's been actually inspiring because I've seen a lot of other younger agents that in our networks that are doing a lot of this stuff as well. But what we used to do is I'm part of three different networking business groups, so I'd say kind of like a BNI, but a little bit less formal. So I have a Wednesday lunch group. We do quarterly payments. We go for lunch at a local hotel here. So I do that on Wednesdays. I have another group that I meet with once a month. So we generally had meetups at various different schedules, but of course we can't do that now. So of course a lot of those groups are on Zoom, probably like everyone else right now. So we're still engaging with those networking groups, but we're just doing it virtually. But one of the other initiatives that we had done in the past was called the 30 for 30, which was a local business series that we had done. We did it 2 years ago, and we were actually planning one for this spring. And what that was we went out and we met with 30 local businesses. We were actually in their businesses. So we did a couple of restaurants where Angie and I were in the kitchen cooking, and we've done all kinds of stuff. We were down at the
You
Harbor
cook?
Cats. Yeah, I cook when I have time. Actually, I've got a lot more time to cook now.
You got to
you
teach
know,
me someday.
yeah, exactly. We did some stuff with the local baseball team, so we had a lot of fun with that. And so we were actually there, being able to be immersed in their businesses. The video content was really engaging, and we were able to do draw prizes for each of those. And so what we did was we pre-recorded them all, and then every day in the month we would release a different business video. So we did Facebook advertising around that, and it allowed us to promote the business as well as promoting ourselves, and it just allowed us to create really unique relationships within the business community, and a lot of those relationships have paid off for my personal business as the years kind of rolled on. So of course, like you said, we can't do that now, right? We can't go into restaurants, we can't be in at
No.
different clothing stores or anything like that. So what we've done, we've posted a few of them to our Prime Real Estate team page now, is we're just doing business interviews. So we're engaging with local business owners. We're popping on Zoom. We're doing an interview with them. First, just asking how they're doing, checking in to see if how they're staying open and how they're still able to service the community. We interviewed a local furniture store here, and they're still doing. Of course, they've got an online store, but if you want to call down, they can even FaceTime you through their showroom and show you different pieces of furniture and take different pictures and measurements and stuff for you as well. So we're trying to do one of those every day as well, and we're going to keep doing that as long as we need to, as long as the local businesses are having a more challenging time. We're just going to keep connecting with business owners, doing interviews with them, trying to promote their online sales or their delivery sales, and any other ways that the community can support them. And sometimes it's just about featuring what those businesses already do in the community. Right. I think we're very lucky in Victoria that it's very locally business based, and they
Right.
do so much for charities and things like that. So what we've kind of said to the public is, hey, these businesses have done so much over the years to support the community. Now it's our turn to kind of give back to them and support them as best as we can.
All right. Yeah, that's true. And when it comes to supporting people, a lot of times it's, we take the initiative to do things for them. But
Yeah.
during these critical times, I guess, what's really their need, right, in terms of their support?
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's been interesting because, some of them are just looking for the awareness, right? Because there's some businesses that people have felt that they're closed. And so sometimes it's just getting the word of mouth out there. So as realtors, we do that well, right? We're all very active on social media. We know lots of people, and so it's just making sure that awareness is there. But it's been interesting because as some businesses are actually slowing down right now and having to adjust that way, some other businesses are really ramping up. One of my friends, Matt Davis, they call him the cookie guy. So they do fresh baked cookie deliveries. And so his business is actually ramped up. So he's actually looking for more employees. So I've been
Oh,
trying to
wow.
connect. Yeah, I've been trying to connect him with people who are maybe looking for a bit of extra work because he needs people to help bake cookies and do deliveries. So some businesses are ramping up. And so I had a friend recently, she got laid off from her job. A lawyer that's in one of my business groups, his volume of business has actually been ramping up right now just because he specializes in a few different areas. And so he was looking for some more administration staff. And so that connection from my business group was able to help a friend out who's, a single mom. And so she's now going to be going to work for them next week. And so just kind of tying people in, people that are looking for employment right now, just trying to make those connections within the business community. And sometimes it's just about connecting other business people with other business people and so that they can support each other as well. And I think that's what realtors do, right? We bring people together. And so we're just really trying to put that all together. And sometimes I made a few notes here too, just connections in the community as well, right? And
Yeah.
some restaurants right now have an oversupply of different types of food, and some food banks are able to take fresh food, others aren't. So again, kind of building those relationships with the nonprofits in town as well.
Exactly. And so it's just basically, going online and see if there's any groups that you can participate in, local groups that you can help with.
Yeah,
And a lot of times just make the call, right, to the business and see, can I
totally,
do an interview with you? And that's really how it starts, right?
exactly.
Some people are, at home and stuff is like, where do I do this? How do I start this, right? But
Yeah,
you just have to take that step. It's just like doing business, right? Just do like doing real estate business. Take that
yeah.
initial step and go out there and reach out, right?
Exactly. And you know what? Some of them have politely declined because they're not comfortable on video, but they've just appreciated the gesture, right? They've said, and we've just ended up having a good conversation about things that are going on and everything else. So even if they don't decide to do a video with you or do anything else, sometimes they just appreciate that you're thinking about them. And I think that's the most important thing right now is we're all struggling a little bit, and to know that you have people out there supporting you and wanting to help, I think goes a long way too.
Yeah, exactly. So you've been with the board for 7 years, right? You were on
Yeah.
the board, and probably during one of the more critical times especially with all the uh, dual agency stuff going on. I feel sorry for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
That was probably not so fun for you. But I mean, you went through the tough times too. But how do people, get involved with organized real estate? And I think that's also one way to help local businesses, because real estate agents is a local business, and so is the brokerages that are in Victoria, for example, right? How
Definitely.
do people get
Yeah.
involved with that?
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is to reach out to your local board, reach out to your local board or association, and just find out about volunteer opportunities, right? And our board, I know we made an onus of making sure there was very serious volunteer positions like being an investigator for professional standards, but then we also had like an events committee where if you really like putting on parties and fun, we did a lawn bowling event last year. So if you like, there's always different volunteer opportunities depending on who you are. So I think just reach out to your local association and see what they have available, or create a realtor networking group, that is there to support each other. We did a call on Monday with just 5 other local realtors just to kind of get a sense if we're all seeing the same thing in the market and what conversations are we having. And so that allowed me to get a lot of good information to share with my own clients as well. So you can either volunteer with your local association or create your own realtor group to support each other and have those conversations and help out where you can.
Do you feel comfortable if they reach out to you, if the viewers reach out to you to just,
Of course, yeah.
yeah.
Anytime, definitely. And I know a lot of the people who still sit on the boards across Western Canada. So happy to connect you with someone locally. I've had friends in the Okanagan who I know the current president of the Okanagan board. I've been able to connect them with her so that they can get involved or get some more localized information.
Awesome, awesome. So, just every interview we do, we ask
Yeah.
the question of what's Kyle's Remax hustle tip. So the tip usually it's unique to what you do that most people don't, or is part of what you know that people don't, and so forth. So, what would be your Remax hustle tip?
Yeah, so I actually probably have two. And so one is probably just topical to this current situation, and that is it's actually about staying calm. I think the biggest thing right now, there's a lot of uncertainty out there. A lot of people are stressed out. And what I found is by being calm, we've all got challenges and you can admit to those challenges. But when I'm talking to clients, when you're talking to your consumers, just stay calm, talk about the facts and just don't try to ride those big up and down mood swings because a lot of us don't know what's going to happen in the future. So I would say being calm right now is a good hustle tip when you're talking to your clients. And then the other one is probably what we've talked about today is just getting involved, right? Go out and get involved. We have a lot of time on our hands right now. So here's the opportunity to at least engage with people. And, I think back to getting involved at the real estate board and I wasn't really too sure how that was going to go. And the experiences that taught me, especially just about things like politics and how much politics has an effect on real estate. And I think as we come out of this COVID crisis and understanding what the governments are going to be doing to incentivize the market and those types of things, I think it's really important for realtors, especially as we move through the landscape going forward, to really understand both local, provincial, and national politics and how they affect the housing market. I know those are the bigger conversations I have with clients a lot is kind of macro and macroeconomics and what are the trends that are, causing housing to be in a boom or causing housing to be in a shortage. There's so many things with that. So I think if you start taking this time, understanding who your local mayor is and the council and are they pro housing? Are they kind of against housing supply? And if you understand those dynamics and getting more involved and understanding what's going on in the community, both on the business side and the political side, it will provide you with a lot of knowledge base that I think consumers will really appreciate because they look to us to be the local expert. And I think, having that base of knowledge will really help.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, that's very important because ultimately, I always say this is that what we, as real estate agents, what we actually offer to our clients is not because in most cases we don't own the property itself, right?
Exactly.
So it's a service, and what we're ultimately offering is our knowledge and experience to our clients, and you know
Definitely.
how to avoid certain problems and things like that before it happens, and so forth. So the more knowledge you have to keep up with your own knowledge, right? You
Yeah.
have to invest time and sometimes money because
Yeah.
courses there's expenses of courses, but you have to invest in yourself to become better at what you do.
Totally. And I think some things cost you money, but I mean, there's some things like just, sometimes I've said to people, go down to a city council meeting when there's development applications that are being proposed and just see what that process is like. Because maybe one day, maybe some of our viewers want to start working with developers as they get more experience. Well, if you don't understand what a developer has to go through when it means putting in rezoning applications and all those kinds of things, you need to kind of see it on the ground level. So there's a lot of things that you can do. And again, people can reach out to me if they want any ideas, but there's so much stuff out there that's free content and stuff as well, just within your local community on business highlights and housing panels and things like that, that it's really helped me understand where the public is coming from a lot too, and dealing with consumers and some of their apprehensions of dealing with realtors. And so there's lots that you can learn just from kind of being involved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the first word you actually said was just to be calm, which is
Yeah.
which is very important these days. And this whole, this whole episode about being connected with community and things like that. It's ultimately you want to be a leader, right? Local business in your community and in real estate in general.
Yeah.
And it starts with you because we've got the problem. The COVID is the problem, but
Yeah.
you have to remain calm in order to be able to lead people out of this positively, right?
Totally.
And
Well,
yeah.
you have to sit back, take a step back, and understand what can you control. Right. There are so many things that are out of our control right now, and that is scary. Right. It's a tough time when we can't control when we can go out or what stores we can go to. But if you step back, look what you can control. You can control reaching out to your clients and making sure they're doing okay. You can control what education courses you take right now. You can control how you get up in the morning and kind of attack your day. So I think if you focus on what you can be in control of, it will help you feel more calm as well.
Exactly. The best
Yeah.
real estate agents know how to adapt to every situation, right?
Totally, right? And it's you've done some great interviews, and I know at Remax Camosun they've interviewed guys like Mike McMullen who have been in it for 30 plus years, and
Oh wow.
Mike talked about that, right? Those ups and downs, and he's been through them, and some of that comes from experience, but why not learn from the people who have had that experience as well?
Exactly. So that comes towards the end of the interview itself.
Yeah,
Let me take a quick look here if there's anything, because usually we would spend a little bit of time to see if anybody asks any questions and so forth. But um, regardless, if there isn't, then I would Kyle would be more than happy to kind of stay on the thread here. And so
yeah.
if there's anybody that wants to get involved with helping your local business or being on any boards or things like that, by all means, do inquire. Kyle is more than happy to help. So
Yeah, you
thank you
bet.
very much
Yeah,
for taking your time, and
yeah.
I
Thanks,
look to
Kingsley.
chat with you later.
Yeah,
Okay?
we'll see you soon. Talk to you
Yeah.
today. Later,
Bye
guys.
now.
Bye. Cheers.